we have our first segment, which is Stump the Theologian. So we have 2 questions today. All right. So first question for the theologian.
Okay.
Who is your favorite gospel writer and why?
No.
So there's 4 gospels. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
There's only one gospel.
But there are 4 writers. And there's
So
the Gospel of Mark, the Gospel of Matthew.
According to Matthew.
Yes,
Gospel
yes.
according to...
Yeah.
So that's a super tough question because
Each of them kind of have their own topic.
So it kind of goes back to,
view.
If someone says, what's your favorite book of the Bible? My answer is the same for everybody. It's the one you've read or studied the most recently or the most.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of the same thing still with the 4 gospel perspectives there. I really love John, and I might have to just pick that one. If I had to pick one, maybe. John is so simple and complex at the same time. It's very evangelistic. I really love just the simplicity that he has going through that. But then Matthew has all the, more of the Jewish references and things. And you have all that, the Olivet Discourse and stuff, the Sermon on the Mount, gives them bigger versions of stuff like that I really, really, really like. And then you have, Luke, he's the historian. And he writes
like
this
details.
Theophilus guy. And so it's like, what a work. And that's only the first half of it, because Acts is the second half. And so it's like, that's a huge, wonderful work together. So complete, so beautiful. And then Mark is just so exciting, action-packed. And it's all about who is Christ,
If I was to pick one, I'd pick Mark.
You'd pick Mark?
Just in general, it's the funnest read. Jesus the superhero, right?
Yeah, it's a quick, action-packed.
It's just here, look at all these awesome things Jesus did.
Yeah. It's like the closest thing we have to like the comic book version. It's just like, he's the superhero. I love it.
But you would say John.
If I had to pick one, I think I would probably have to go for John, and that is tough. But I think I would.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I
always struggle with that question.
Why in there? Okay. So following up with that.
Oh.
John 19.
Oh.
Doesn't mention Simon bearing the cross of Jesus like the other gospels. Why is that?
Well, you could ask that question for a million things. Not all the gospel perspectives has the same details. It's kind of part of the beauty of it. I would just say this. There is a great joy in harmonizing the gospels, to put them all together to see how they fit beautifully. And then you have more complete details on certain subjects. That's very rewarding, and I would encourage you to do it. However, I would say that more importantly, actually, is to take each gospel perspective in its own writing, understanding that they wrote exactly what they did, not because they had amnesia of other events and things, but because they're actually trying to teach a very certain thing. Why did he leave them out? For John, he's already writing a lot. If you think about even just the work it takes to write such a huge manuscript like that, there's no backspace and stuff. You're handwriting this thing. And, to leave out details like, well, how important of a detail was that? John just didn't think it was that important of a detail, and especially because he wrote after everybody else.
He basically skipped the whole thing. Just for everybody who's not familiar exactly with what John says, basically, John 15:16, but they cried out, away with him, crucify him. Pilate said to them, shall I crucify your king? The chief priests answered, we have no king but Caesar. Then he delivered him to them to be crucified. So they took Jesus and led him away. And he, bearing his cross, went out to a place called the place of the skull, which is called in Hebrew Golgotha, where they crucified him and 2 others with him, one on either side and Jesus in the center. Just completely skip that whole detail of actually carrying his cross out there. I mean, they mentioned bearing his cross, but that's it.
And it's like, I think the bigger question would be, why did the other gospel writers include it? Mm-hmm. And you'd have to look at the context and you have to analyze all that. With him, it's just, I don't think that he's missing something for his purpose. And, what did he write? He wrote these things that you may believe, right? It's a very evangelistic thing. And I think his focus has just been on Jesus, and he just didn't find that detail to be necessary to help someone to believe in Jesus. And so, that's just a simplistic way to look at it, but it could be something else. But I think it's more important to why did they have what they did have is the better question.
And we do know that John was one of the eyewitnesses there, right? Like he was
correct.
there watching Jesus be crucified. I guess we don't know if he followed along with him, but we do know he was there when he was being crucified because Jesus was talking to him from the cross.
And he's writing this as an older man now.
Yeah.
He was a young boy when it happened.
But you wouldn't forget details of this. So he would have
omitted
it just because it wasn't relevant to the point he was making. Or
Matthew, Mark, and Luke were already in circulation. Mm-hmm. He had read those works.
Sure.
And so, hey, if it's mentioned all those other times,
I mean,
do I need to say it too? I don't know. So good
bottom
question,
line, bottom line is we don't know why he omitted it.
Sure. No.
Other than it just wasn't relevant to the point he was trying to make.
Good question. Good question.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So did we stump the theologian? You be the judge. Maybe. He doesn't know why.
Oh.
He did not know what John was thinking.
That's true. I'll give you that one.
So, but yeah, to the point, there are definitely some omissions in some of the Gospels when you compare them to each other.
Quite a few.
They don't change the story, obviously. They just don't give all the details in each of the Gospels.
Right.
So